DNA from a strawberry. You don't have to use strawberry. You can use blueberries. You can use your own saliva, but today we're going to do strawberries. A little bit easier to see from extrapolating what we need to get out of those strawberries. What you need for this experiment is a bunch of, or at least one coffee filter. You're going to need some dish soap. Shampoo will do as well. Some salt. Some chilled, or it has to be, probably should be in the freezer, getting ready for this experiment, alcohol, some water, a bowl to mix it in, a pair of tweezers. You can use toothpicks as well, Ziploc bag, a couple measuring tools. You have this is looks like it's 1/3 of a cup, and then you've got a teaspoon and a tablespoon. And I'm probably not going to use this filter. You're going to need a glass, and this is going to act as our test tube. It's basically a long shot glass if you have that. You could probably keep it in this glass if you need to. This will probably show a little bit better if you have something like that at the house. So before we get started, what we're going to do is take those strawberries, crush them up, and we're going to take our mixture, mix them up, put them all together, add the alcohol, and in a very short period of time, we'll be able to grab some of that DNA right out of the mixture. Basically, the soap dissolves those cell membranes. That's its function. And the salt actually breaks up those proteins so that we can actually do that and get a sample of DNA. You can actually see it, it's tangible. All right, so to get started, I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way until we're ready for it. So in our mixing, or actually, I'm not going to do the mixing bowl yet. I'm going to take a couple strawberries, take the stems off, and put them in a Ziploc bag. And open the Ziploc bag. Again, all the leaves come off. All right, Ziploc bag, take the air out, and what we're going to do is crush those strawberries, all right? So we're going to crush them, make them into a pulp, and for some reason, you don't have to use the salt. You can use pretty much anything you want. And for whatever reason, the students in the class really enjoy this part. I don't know if it's pent-up frustration or if we're sitting in the classroom too long, whatever it is, but they really get creative and are quite energetic when they crush this. You don't necessarily have to be. I think I achieved the objective without getting too crazy. All right, so now we've got our pureed almost strawberries. Release some of the air out of there, and we'll put those strawberries aside. Now, in our mixture, we are going to grab a tablespoon of soap. Put that in a bowl. Do a teaspoon of salt. And we are going to do 1/3 of a cup of water. And there is our mixture. So I am going to stir this up and make it somewhat uniform. And once it is, we are going to throw it in the Ziploc bag. But before we do that, I'm going to get my coffee filter ready, throw it in the glass. So that's ready. If you have a smaller mouth glass, you can use a funnel. This is a small funnel. We usually use test tubes, so this works for what we do. But again, I'm trying to use all stuff around the house to make things a little bit easier. And pouring this liquid in. Sealing it up, getting the air out of there as best as possible. And we're going to mix this around. Again, if you don't crush this effectively enough, it's probably going to get caught up in the coffee filter. We're going to try not to do that. And then once that mix is all done, what we're going to do is pour this into the coffee filter. The entire mixture. Depending on how big your glass is, that's how much mixture you'll put in there. Again, the longer you leave it in this coffee filter, the better chance it is that you'll have to compromise the actual filter, so you can't leave it in there too long or else it's going to split, and then you'll have pieces and remnants of the strawberry, which you're trying to avoid. All right, so we'll get rid of that. And now you've got your mixture. So what I'm going to do is add some alcohol. In the test tubes we have, it's usually about 1 inch of product. So we'll probably do a little bit less than that. And this alcohol we kept on ice. And we're going to give it a couple minutes to settle out. And soon enough, you'll start seeing some of the DNA, as the chemical reaction is going on, start almost gelling together, so that we'll be able to pick it out with our tweezers or toothpicks.